Hi, it's T with Teaquilts, and today is January 17th, 2026, and we're here for live sewing chat. And today I'm going to be sewing the rows together to my strip and dip. I have 3 of them sewed, and then as I was laying the rows out today, I realized that these 2 extra pieces down here that I thought were extra, they need corners. So I need to make corners for these, so that I can sew the last row. And I did not have these when I laid them out, so they're just going to be wherever they fall. So at the end, the last row. So we'll deal with that last. And we're going to see who's in the chat, because it's sewing chat. And still got my pieces there. That's for, I'm going to use the leftover pieces of this for binding, I think, if I have enough. So let's see who's in the chat. We've got Darcy Savali here reminding you all to subscribe if you haven't already and hit the bell so you receive notifications when I'm live. And also letting you know that we have a group on Facebook. It's called Teaquilts LLC. You can go over there and request. Make sure that you answer the 4 questions so that you can join. Otherwise, you may not get in, because I'm trying to keep scammers out of the group. And my other live day is Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for 1 hour live chat. And tonight, Saturday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time for 2-hour live sew and chat. And by Darcy, she's not going to be here today. Dee Branson's here, saying that her rent is paid. That means that she has hit the thumbs up button. Have you? If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button. It just helps the channel a little, and I would really, really appreciate it. Judy Smith's here, Vivian Calvi, Frances Jackson, Claudette Hall, Linda the Irisel Lady, Jakara Faisal, I guess, Patchwork, says hi from Brazil. Welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome. Paula Joe Davison's here, asking what model of Bernina this is. It's the 770. Janice Miller's here. Benita Nance, Betsy Layton, Renee White, Michelle the Quilter, Sharon Lewis, Linda Parrish, and Wanda Jamerson. Welcome to the chat. Yolanda Riza, Gloria Hawkins, Holly Duvall. I don't know if I said that one already. Remo JS is here, reminding you all to hit the thumbs up button and also join the channel if you haven't. Suzette Peterkin Denton, Clovis Gardner, Nina. And that's it right now. So I've been feeling better every day since, I don't know, what's today, Saturday? For a few days now. I've been feeling better each day. Still not 100%, but just glad to be where I'm at, because it can always be worse. So I'm not going to complain. So voice is still kind of in and out. I had my big Gill quilt guild meeting on Thursday. I was able to go this time. Last month I didn't go because I was, just in case I had something other than sinus issues. I didn't want to go out in public. But I am this year on the guild committee. I'm on the, I guess, the raffle basket committee. is what they call it. And Jennifer is the main person that's in charge of that. I'm kind of her assistant. And she is on vacation, so I had to do that meeting by myself. So I didn't have a choice but to go this time. Even if I didn't want to go, I had to go. So, but I had a good Thursday. I have quilted some quilts, I guess, that I haven't showed you all. I need to get back into showing you all works in progress. I've got some things quilted, but I don't have binding on them. But maybe, you know, if we have some more good days. We've had a little rain, well, kind of snow a little bit, but it's been wet outside, so I haven't been outside. But maybe I can take some photos or something of some stuff that I've done and that I've at least quilted. I think I've quilted maybe 5 or 6 quilts that you all haven't seen. I've quilted my Happy Place. My African Queendom, Wensleydale, and I've quilted my H blocks, which I'm doing, you know, using as my John Lewis quilt. And oh, I quilted a quilt top that Joe Carmel gave to me in 2022, I guess. Finally got that one quilted. Hi, Deborah Holloway. Welcome to the chat. Also quilting Cynthia and Betty Ward. Welcome, welcome. Michelle the Quilter, Minnie Dula. Appreciate you all being here. So I have been doing some quilting, but I have not been doing any videotaping of that type of stuff because first it was a lot of snow. We had a lot of snow at one point, took a long time to go, and now it's just been wet and miserable out, and so I don't really take stuff outside to videotape during that time. But hopefully I'll start figuring out some bindings. Maybe I know I got to get my African Queendom binding done because I've entered it into the Ferguson Library is having a quilt show for Black History Month. Well, I'm saying it's Black History Month. So I'm putting my African Queendom in there. So that's why it's quilted. Because originally I wanted to custom quilt it and all of that. And it's like, girl, if all the things that I want to custom quilt, I'm not going to get anything done. And so I was able to quilt more quilts that I had, 4 quilts that I had, over trying to custom quilt one. So that's what I did instead. So my African Queendom quilt is not custom quilted, but it's okay. It's okay. Hi, Brenda Jackson. Welcome to the chat. Many saying they had a dusting of snow. So yeah, we didn't get any accumulation. It was just enough for a wood deck that hadn't fully dried out from all the snow in the first place. Then it was just enough to make it damp again. That's what, and it's anytime the weather goes really cold and then come back and gets warmer during the daytime, my deck has just been kind of wet, even though there's nothing on it. So I don't want to be putting anything on the deck trying to take pictures when it's wet like that. So eventually, hopefully, you'll see some stuff. Hopefully, maybe, who knows? You might get some bindings. I don't know what's going to happen with any of those quilts. So, oh, and one other thing that I found in doing the quillos for charity, where we're trying to do just a piece of fleece and then put another piece of fleece for a pocket so that you can fold the fleece into the pocket so it's not one big thing. I went to Facebook Marketplace and I finally found somebody that had pieces that I think I can use. So I may have to use something different because I don't think any of them are 2.5 yards, but I might have 1.5 yards and 2 yards. So I might have to put another piece of fleece to make the pocket portions, and then I'll have different sizes. So I'll try to mark on mine how long they are. So if you all could, if you start sending those in, if you could put a piece of paper on there letting me know what the size is. That way, since they're all rolled into quillos, she doesn't have to unroll them to see if one would fit like a baby or a toddler, which is anything a yard or smaller. But a yard and a half might fit somebody, 4 feet or something like that. So I am going to be doing that. I found some on the marketplace, but they're still in my car. I did not bring them in. So I just wanted to tell you all that to look. I know that Hobby Lobby has it's not going to be like your choice of like if you were getting it from Joann's. Michael's looked like they had some if you order online. The one by me said that it didn't have any in stock, which I didn't go in there to check it out. So, but you can also check your Michaels to see if they've got fleece. So I think that's it. It's probably some other stuff that I've forgotten, but I keep losing my chat. Oh, I did mail some more stuff out today. I'm still needing the address of Kim Kelly. I sent you an email, so my emails, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So yeah, I'll try to remember at some point to put it into the group, into the Scrap Quilting Club via Zoom group. And yeah, I think that's it for right now. So, I didn't bring the tape in here. So I have 3 rows already sewed together. I have a total of 7 rows. So this is just folded in half, just so you all can see what I'm sewing together. And I have 4 more rows to sew, but I need to sew the corners and square up the last 2 blocks, which I didn't know that until, it was time for me to go live. I thought they were extras. Apparently, I can't count to 25. I must have kept counting knowing that I had the 2 over, but then when I went and cut, I forgot that I had to cut for that. I cut just for my half blocks, which are these. I cut just for the half blocks. I didn't cut for needing to make 2 more whole blocks. All right, and then the other thing I got here is I did not bring tape in here so that I can mark this stuff. So maybe I'm going to have to use some pins so that I can know what's the top. And that water is almost gone. Put some water in the iron and just cut it on so it'll be ready or get started getting heated, even if it cuts off. Nina is asking me, T, did you get the package today? No, I went to the post office today. I didn't get anything. Did you send something with a tracking number? I opened up mail on Wednesday. I'm trying to think. I got some fabric on Wednesday. Is that what you're talking about? It was, I think, 3 pieces of fabric. Let me see. No, I haven't. I don't think I've gotten anything from you, Nina. Yes, the fabric from Zoom. Oh, I haven't gotten it. It hasn't arrived yet. It hasn't arrived. But I have sent stuff out. I sent you a package out. I know what you're talking about now. I haven't gotten that. I know who you are now. All right. This stuff is so crooked, it's ridiculous. Let me see if I can pin in here to see if I can get my centers to line up. I told y'all that, you know, when stuff isn't, I don't like sewing where, you know, it's okay because you just square it up. Just make sure your point is in the center. Well, I couldn't even get the width out of some, so I'm gonna have to take this out, come down a little bit, come down a little more, just be in the middle. I'm just trying to get my middles lined up. And then hoping these feed dogs work the trick the rest of the way. And all I want to do is put pins at the top so I'll know what's the top. I don't have that many. I left my tape. I had the tape at my other, my big board. I was in there marking up some stuff. So I left my tape in there. If I make a mess, I'll go get it. But I'm like, I only got 3 rows to sew. Should be okay. Okay. So I'm going to try to ease this in. I don't know why I can't keep. I don't even have my stand. Why my screen keeps giving me the add thing. Deborah Quilts is here. Melissa LePage. I know who you are. It took me a minute. Phyllis G is here and Sheila. So yeah, so I'm trying to ease this in so that I still have my points kind of centered, which I didn't think 1/8 of an inch would be a problem, but apparently it is. Because I added the 1/8 when it wasn't wide enough on one side for me to keep my side point. But apparently it does matter. So don't do what I did. So I just try to line them up, looking at the point, and then pull it up and then see where my ends go. At least trying to get them centered instead of just lining up the outside edge. Because now I don't remember which one I gave an extra 1/8 inch to and which ones I didn't, you know. Oh my God, this is a lot. It's ridiculous. Trying to keep side points. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this. And this is the top because I put a pin in it. And this is the first one. And I said it doesn't have many numbers, so I only got like 5 items max to sew. So I'm gonna see if I can center up my points again. Yep, they're about centered. This one's barely got enough for the 1/4 inch. So I'm glad I sold some of this. I sold some rolls off camera so that, you know, to see if I was going to have any issues. And I'm glad I did, because I saw that some of them weren't straight, but I wasn't taking it off. I'm like, I'm not doing that. And this one, I can't really see where the point is because my fabric got caught in the seam. I'll put a pin here. Hopefully that'll work. You know, we don't have to be super perfect, but I'm one of those people that I aim to be as perfect as I can, because I know we're not perfect. So I can take that level of not perfect. I'm not really overall happy with how this is done, but you know, it is what it is, and I want to get it finished, so I don't want it hanging on my to-do list, because then it'll never get done. At least let it in quilt top land, you know. All right, so this is all done, that row. 2. So now we're ready for this one. And I'll put a pin in the top of the other 2 when I sew them together. So, oops, I forget. I forget to look to see if they're kind of sort of centered. I think they are. So that's good. This is the one that I had to sew just a little bit of extra fabric on. So I can see the point on this, line it up to the point right there, slide it up, and put a pin, and then we work the ends however they fall. That side's good. This side's good. This one's not bad. All right. Let's get this first row off so that I can press it. And I'm just going to press everything one direction. I don't think I pressed these. I did press them open. Oh, Lord. I was just going to press them one direction. I did press them open. So, okay. I'm not going to press the rows open. Let's see what's happening on the rows. No, I did not press the rows open, because I'm like, I don't want to do all of that. Just do some set seam first. All right. Now we press seams open. Hi Paula S. C Joy Creations. Hello, hello. I keep feeling like I'm hitting the mic. It's lots of projects going on. I got my Gill quilt retreat next month. And we got like 3 projects in there. I doubt I'm going to do them. Now, one of them I actually like. I like that. Both of them are actually like, and they're pretty easy. But, you know, I gave myself 11 projects with Scrap Quilting Club. Okay? And that's not including anything else with So Busy that they come up with. So I have a lot. And that's not the stuff that I want to do. Doesn't include the project right here that I'm doing. Doesn't include the mystery quilt. So instruct your supply, your fabric list, and your first sewing instruction is out on the, what was it called? The Splendid 16s mystery quilt that I'm doing sew along. You get 1 part every month. I'm kind of glad now that I did it once a month instead of every week or every 2 weeks. It's a lot going on. So I keep losing my chat. Oh my gosh, I lost my point. I knew that one was going to be close, but whatever. It's at the bottom. Hopefully I don't have to see it. So I just sewed all of this into a row. It's the exact same thing on the other side, right there. I'm just putting this to the side so when I get that one ready, I can sew it on. It's still in 2 pieces right now. So these 2 go together, and then this one with those 2, and then this one is the last half block. All right. So let's see. Get my points lined up and then just go straight up. Put a pin in it. Hi, Lady Crafts. And Diane McCoy, welcome to the chat. Okay, now these 2, no. Okay. I was supposed to sew this one first. That's why I was confused. Yeah, this is going to lose a point on the bottom too. It's like my edge pieces, or I trimmed them really close. Let's try to do a scant 1/4 inch. And then go back to my 1/4. All right. These last 2 get sewed together. These 2 get sewed together. And I'm just going to press. It doesn't matter which way they're pressed. Okay. Okay. My blocks are okay. It's when I get to, well, my full blocks. It's when I get to the half blocks. So that one has a pin. Mostly I have enough room on my full blocks if I cut it right. Uh-oh. Seemed like it was something else I was supposed to do, or tell you. But I think I've done everything. Oh, that's not. That's the block that I had the extra seam. That's why it looked different. Imagine if I was working in the office, like I've been sick for like the last Monday. You know, I probably would have been at work every day, probably except for about 2 of them, 3 at max. They don't be playing in the office. They want you to come to work. And I was in bed for weeks. Uh-oh, I don't want to sew with that. It's just a marking pen. I don't want to sew with it. So, what projects are you all working on? Let me know, let me know, let me know. I'm gonna get these 2 pieces sewed. Let's just set the seams first. I still gotta add another piece onto this one, but we're gonna sew those other 2 together once I sew this. Sew these. Many talking about your mystery quilt. All right. That's one. Okay. Judy says that she finished the T-swap block about an hour ago. Moving on, not sure what would be next. I think we did that in 2021, maybe? I can't remember what year. I know it was like early on when COVID happened. We did that project. Oh, Lord. I'm lining up my point, girl, because we can't stand the point not to be straight. We're going to work everything else out. We're going to have to figure it out. All right. Okay. Very scant. I'm probably missing it anyway. Well, I shouldn't be sewing a corner unit right here. We should be okay because it goes down here on the bottom here. And I'm going to take this off and see if I can line this up while it's under my machine. Let's see. Paige is also in here snoring. I don't know if you all can hear her. But trying to stay hydrated. Whew. I don't want to have to go to the ER for other complications due to, I have complications sometimes from antibiotics, so I have to stay hydrated. I don't want that to happen because it always happens where I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning, miserable. So we definitely don't want that. All right, so I'm going to press this one, and then we're going to pin it to the row I've already done and sew those two together. And then we'll press that row and add it on. All right. I don't know why I'm sitting turned in my chair, but I am. Let's see what you all are working on. I'm touching it and it's giving me a commercial, okay? Paula says, this pool is so beautiful, like Mardi Gras. What is the name of it? This pool? Are you talking about this right here, this fabric? This is Fossil Fern by Benartex. Judy says some of the blocks would, okay, so then it was dated, then it's 2022 then. I couldn't remember if it was 2021. It's probably 2022. I got mine done. It's just that it's been a little while since I've looked at it. Deborah's working on the Focus Fabric Quilt we're doing in Scrap Quilting Club. Goliath Shorts here. Welcome to the chat. Claudette's working on a fidget quilt for a long care facility, so that's cool. And Nina's also working on a Focus Fabric Quilt, which is a Scrap Club project. All right, so this is the top of row number 5. We need row number 4. And I am going to pin this a little. Pin here. Just go down to the bottom and put a pin in just to hold the bottom so it's not flopping around. And then I'm going to try to line up my center with the seam, close as I can get. So I'm doing a whole lot of fudging. And I don't like it. Because I want to make sure I'm in the neighborhood. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I want to be in the neighborhood, you know. Line up a point with a seam. And make it all fit in between. Thank God for the 97D foot. Even when it's on top, it still works. All right, I need 2 more pins. I think I need 2 more. Okay. Hi, Rhonda Barlow. Okay. Let's sew this one. And then I gotta press the one that's on here. So let's go ahead and do that. Take this off. Pull it over. Okay. And I'm not pressing these seams open. Just gonna let them go to one side. And I will like repress these with my my steamer iron, my reliable, and they'll lay down much flatter. I'm not sure if I'm gonna quilt this right away. That was the water bottle popping. It scared me. The name of the quilt is Strip and Dip. It's in the title by GE Designs. It's really pretty, but the when you put the corners on, they're not cut to size, so they're little cattywampus, so they're not cut to the right shape. So they're cut oversized, so you can square them up, but then that became a problem for me. Two things I would change and do differently. I make those corners much bigger than she says, and then I would also cut my strip wider by a ½ inch. So if you have the pattern, you'll know what I'm talking about. That way your rows just float. You don't have to worry about points being lost. All right, that's that one. Let's press. I got 2 seams should be on here to press open, and then the other ones I don't need my strip stick. I can press it elsewhere. I'm so sick of this. Oh my goodness. It just took me completely out of chat that time. It doesn't like me. I can take this out. I think we're done right now for tops of the blocks. so I can put those pins up. Like I said, it's not like I had a whole lot of blocks to put in a row, and they were short to sew. So it wasn't like long blocks, like 12-inch blocks. They weren't that long. So I got another one I need to press open right here. And then we're done with the strip stick for right now. Until I sew I got one more row where I need to do 2 blocks, make 2 blocks, so. But I won't be able to sew I can sew the blocks together, but I can't trim them because they're too big for this area for me to square up. But I can get everything sewed hopefully tonight. All right, this is number 6. Let's just go ahead and cut this and press this. Again, I will be taking this to my big board and giving it a press with a good iron, a heavier iron to hold down seams too. Because I already took my blocks in there and it did a really good job on those. So. I'm gonna see if it comes back. I've got and the funny thing is it's giving me the same boring ad. Like, at least give me something different to look at. No, it's not leaving. I thought it would leave, but it's not. Just sits there on this boring ad. Oh, it did finally leave. I don't know if I hit it with the fabric or what, but it finally left, which means it's coming back. Clovis says, I'm cutting more rectangles to use on the border strips of another quilt. Okay, this one. Ken's working on Your Mystery Quilt, and then Missouri Stars Spring Dreams Block of the Month. So that's cool. I saw that. I didn't join it, but I saw it. It's like I got way too much stuff to do. I got so many projects in scrap quilting clubs, and then trying to add something for Teaquilters that's where this mystery is coming from, that's not in scrap quilting club, although a lot of people in those are doing it. I've already received quite a few pictures. So I downloaded like maybe 8. I need to go back and download the next one so that I don't have to do it all, later. I don't know why that's this far out. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. But it is what it is. This is what not having accurate corners mean. That they're different. All right. So, and now we're going to add on number 6. This is what we got. Now we're adding on number 6. And I lost my number 5 somewhere. Could be on me. It's not on here anymore. That's why I don't necessarily take numbers off until I get enough stuff sewed together. So if I lose a number, I still hopefully have a number. Let me make sure it's not at the bottom down here and I sewed the wrong end. Nope, there's no number down there. I thought I looked before. And this was at the top because this is the blocks that I added the extra pieces to that I couldn't square up. So it's right. It's in the right spot. Holly's been working on boomerang pattern. So that's cool. Cool. By, I think she said Jaybird Quilts. So again, I'm gonna pin so that I'm in the neighborhood so I don't get any surprises later if I just pin and make stuff fit and then I don't like how it fits. So I'm making sure I don't have any issues and concerns. That's the center. Go right there. I'm earning my Bernina is earning its money that I paid for this machine because I'm using that 97D foot so it can ease in. And it's doing a good job. Okay, my fabric got cut, my border got caught in my zipper on my pocket. That's under the sewing machine. Okay. Sharon says, I'm sewing the back to the Spinning Links quilt. So that's cool. She's getting backs done. I have not done any of that. I think I'm going to be using wide backs. Well, I say that. And then I got my lion quilt that I want to piece all the extra pieces to. I need to piece that because I want that one quilted. I want my lion quilt done. My sister can't have hers and I don't have mine, you know? Like, what kind of world is that? So I got hers done. I want to use all the scrap pieces on the back. Otherwise, we got all this extra fabric that's just kind of went to waste. All right, so let's sew this. And then we'll sew, this will be rows 4, 5, and 6 sewn together. And then I can sew this to 1, 2, 3. At least it gave me a different commercial. It must have heard me. It gave me something different this time. I still can't laugh, apparently. Hi, Joe Carmel. And Photo Kevin. They hanging out together. Come in here together. Bye, Diane. I don't know if Diane's leaving or what, but bye, Diane, I think. Make sure when you're going out that you hit the thumbs up button. Make sure it's hit for me. I would really appreciate it. Oh, Kevin just got his mom to bed, so. Okay, Got this one that needs to be eased a little bit. Raise the presser foot. And now I want to go just, might lose the point just a tad. It's right there on my 1/4 inch, like right there. I do love these fabrics though. And although I intended to do black, I do like it with the brown. All right, so let's cut this and press. Hi, Earlene Butler. Welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Trying to make sure it was still on there. Oops. Okay, here's the piece of tape I couldn't find. It was on the iron. Just ask and you shall receive. Number 5. All right. Let's just... All right. This is the issues with pressing in a small space. I'm pressing on a 16-inch wool mat, and I'm going diagonally across it so that I get a few more extra inches. You figure it out. But like I said, I still like pressing on my big board. But I'm just trying to press it so it doesn't look so bad. I know if I wasn't live, I would just go press it back there. But yeah, I normally don't press here, this type of stuff. All right. Okay, last piece right here. All right. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'll have one more row I'll have to do off camera. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock. We're doing pretty good today. I'm gonna, I got the fabric rectangles back there. I need to cut them in half we'll cut those in half and then sew those onto the remaining diamonds that I have up here. And then I will have to stop at that point on this project. But we'll get everything done on here that we can, because this is about to be a UFO if I don't keep working on it. That's the good thing about the Sewing Saturdays, is I try to pick a project for the Saturday, and then I don't work on it any other time unless I feel like that step, I've done it so many times, I'm tired of filming that part. Then I might, you know, go ahead. So yeah, we've worked on this long enough. But at least it's done. It was back in April when I started and didn't work on it until late December. So, and trying to do it as a something that I'm sewing, so I have a project and don't have to worry about what I'm sewing when I come in here. All right, couple more pins right there, and one last one just to hold the space right here. All right. Suzette saying I plan on working on the focus fabric, but I'm just looking at the pieces. Kevin asked me which of the Quillo things am I planning to do. I was originally planning on doing the one that had where you use 2.5 yards and you fold up 18 inches and make a pocket that size. And the pocket goes all the way across the bottom instead of making a smaller pocket. But I have to see how much fabric I have on. I bought some fabrics from Facebook Marketplace. I got 3 pieces, so I'm hoping that I've got enough to do that on at least one. That's what I'm thinking. And then if I have to add some, then I'll make a pocket. I just thought it was cool that you just add the extra piece into the bottom and you didn't have to sew a pocket. All made out of one fabric. I don't even have to read the instructions. I might go to the hardware store, like Harbor Freight or something, and get one of those chalk markers. Because I'm like, that would be really great on that to measure a chalk line if you wanted to stitch all the way down. You don't have to, but I think I would like to. And that'd be a quick way to mark it. I wonder, will it wash out? Guess somebody got to test it and find out, right? May as well be me. I might do that. I might go to Harbor Freight. I think I found my fabric in Collinsville. Had to think about it because I've been talking to so many people that had listings for fleece, but they weren't big enough. Weren't even a yard of fleece. Hi, Quilt Nana. Quilt Nana. Welcome to the chat. And my son wants one now. Girl, we're going to be practicing on all of them. Okay. So I'm just going to set this seam. I'm not pressing this because now it's really wide. I'm just going to set it so I know I set the stitches. Don't have to worry about that. And then I might just use my wood press to open it. Even though I'm on top of the wool mat and not just my desk. Oh, and there's one other thing. I want to order an insert for the 9850 for retreat. I haven't done that. And I hope that they can get it done by then. I need to do that. All right. So I'm just going to press this over with a wood press. I'm not even going to try to get the iron in here. I now have 6 rows sewed together. I'm in the middle. All it's probably going to do for me is give me wrinkles. So at least it'll be sort of kind of going where I want it to go when I get to my big board. Okay. It's not hard surface, but it's better than nothing at all. Okay. Right there. All right, just so you all can see some of the pretty. You can't see it all, but it's the best I can do. I really love the colors. So I got one more row that goes onto this. For this size, the pattern has, I want to say 4 different sizes. I can't remember right now. I don't have the paperwork in here. I think it has 4 different sizes. I'm doing lap size because I needed 4 yards of fabric for lap. And I thought I was going to make it bigger, thinking, oh, I'm going to use my whole jelly roll and just make blocks. No, I did not have enough background fabric, so I did not do that. I'm glad I looked before I went and made cut all those pieces and stuff, though. But I wouldn't have had enough. Thank you, Kevin. Good stuff. Says I started using thrift store fleece on some Quilted As You Go blocks. So that's pretty cool. Using that as your background. Or are you using it as batting and still using a background? That'll be interesting. Wanda's trying to figure out the triple side step quilt. Took a class about 2 years ago and I forgot what I learned. Melissa says my dad used purple chalk line to mark for a ceiling fan. There was no getting the chalk mark off. Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. Mm-mm. And Kevin saying he'd like to get his done while caring for his mom. He's asking us if anybody has done a Quillo yet, using any of the instructions, I guess, that we've sent out. And she says she is using it as batting in the quote as you go, so that's cool. Thank you, Michelle and Quiltanana. Said it's gorgeous and beautiful. All right, so I thought I had 2 extra blocks. When I went to lay it out, I just put the number 7 on one of the blocks. They're not in any kind of order. I need 4 more blocks, and I only got 2. But I have 2 diamonds already made that I thought were extras. So I went and cut some background fabric into rectangles, but I didn't get a chance to, because like I said, I noticed this right as I was about to go live. So I had just enough time to find the fabric, because you know how we bury stuff when we think we done with it. I don't even see my long ruler in here unless it fell. I'll see if this will work. So, yeah. And again, you don't have to be accurate with this because it's not measured accurate in the first place. It's made to look cattywampus. And I got all these layers under this. I got 2 press mats under the thing here. It don't want to cut. All right. That at least worked. That was not my 18-inch ruler though. All right, let's take this back out. And we're just gonna use the iron so that it doesn't cut off. Trick it a little bit. Let's see. 2 more of these things when I thought I was done, okay? Oh my goodness, do not want to be backing up. But on the bright side, it's the last one. It's the last one. If you all want me to have a Zoom concert where you pay to hear me sing, just let me know. I got it going on. Not. Oh my goodness. This is jagged. I don't know what's up with that. But we're going to act like we don't see it. Okay. I don't know where that come from, but we're on the last 2. We're not finna play with this now. Okay. One of the good things is that, you don't have to worry about right and wrong, wrong sides up, right sides up. You put them how you cut right and wrong sides together, and then you sew because you need both sides of the rectangle. Oops. Good night, Judy. He ain't nothing but a troublemaker. Talking about I'd pay to hear Miss T going up yonder. I do like that song. That was my sister's favorite song. I forget I can't laugh. Okay. This way. I'm just surprised he didn't say she sounds just like Whitney Houston. All right, we got 2 more corners to put on. I cannot play with you. He talking about, they asked Miss T what key you gonna sing it in, and she said all of them. Oh my goodness. That's right. All of them. All right, we got 2 more left over here. I'm going to show y'all one more time how this stuff looks. All right, 2 more. Sharon talking about I'll sing back up from caramel cake. Girl, I got the purest of intentions, but I cannot carry a tune in a bucket. And it was so funny because I was in the young adult choir, and they had the nerve to let me go to I was in the children's choir and then went to the young adults choir. So I'm up there. They got me up there singing with the sopranos. I think I'm like, oh, I'm with the sopranos. All sopranos think they're the best. But yeah. Finally heard myself singing, and they was wondering how come I don't come back to choir rehearsal, because they had the rule where if you missed 2 rehearsals, you couldn't sing. So I hurried up and missed 2 choir rehearsals when I realized I couldn't sing. And then they like, you can still sing. You've been in the choir for years. You know the songs. We don't have anything new. I'm like, nah, that's all right. You all got rules. Never went back to another choir rehearsal, okay? Oh my God. Now, what I could do was dance and perform. I would do that at my work. We always had a Christmas program. So I would do that instead of singing, being in a choir, okay? Okay, all of my triangles are gone. It's 9:23. We're doing excellent on time. Okay. Sure say one thing for sure, I won't drop any cake. I cannot. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. All right. So this is how they look. You can see how they're more flared out, kind of curved at the top up here, if you look at it. And you're trying to leave yourself a little space up here so when you trim, you still got your 1/4 inch when you go across. And then, of course, you can see the sides. It's kind of like an hourglass a little bit. But yeah, I like stuff cut to what it's supposed to be, even if I have to use a template, okay? I'd rather do that. But that's just me, my pet peeve. I can't do this because I can't square these up. No board will fit here. I need at least 20 inches. So that's not going to work. Dorsey's reminding you all to hit the thumbs up button on your way out. Thank you so much, Dorsey. Oh, good night to Earlene, it looks like. Dorsey says, I can dance better than sing, but not too great at them. Yes. Ugh. Don't ask me about this pattern. It's the Scrap Club project. I don't want that. I don't want that one. Oh, I need the one on the bottom. Yep. That's what I need, is the one on the bottom. Okay. I need this too. Ugh. Okay. I put it up here upside down. That's not going to help me very much. All right. Okay. Let's do this. These are all those big old half square triangles I was sewing. All right. I got numbers on these. I'm trying to turn the numbers so they're right side up on all of them so I don't, completely lose what I'm doing here. Okay. And so fold in and then out. Okay. Trying to figure out how I'm going to press next. Let's see. It's 9. So we're going to press this one to the middle. Nobody else working on any other projects? You all are just chilling, relaxing from Christmas. Soon as I had my Teaquilts lineup stuff done, it was like I started seeing all the block of the months coming out. It's like, oh, that looks like it's going to be cute. No, we won't be doing any of that. Just trying to make sure I keep my units going in the right direction. All these half square triangles. Kevin's working on Bounty Hunters, Pokemon Daydreams here. Have no idea what that is. Good stuff says, I'm working on scraps. Something I've blanked, but but otherwise I have cathedral windows going, as well as a block of the month sampler group. So cool. I'm making giant size 9 patches. These things are huge. Okay. This is the bottom one. I think I want it to be pressed. Yeah, this way. Trying to press them opposite direction, because I'm not vested in pressing them open. They're too big. It's like I got too many projects. I'll press open some of them. Working on a baby blanket for goddaughter first baby. That's cool, Janice. And the block of the month is with Alice's. Oh, with the book Alice's in Wonderland. Joe Cormel's binding. Girl, you come in here cursing me. I was telling them I got more than 5 quilts that need binding, but I just made 5 that need binding. Okay. Made 5 that need binding. And now I'm going to ignore them. But I got to do one, because it's going into a show. So I need to make a label. All right. I'm assuming these two can go together. I need some water. Okay. Just put a pin in it because it's so big. Not because I need it. Tomorrow I'm going to be going to the laundromat to wash my fleece. I can use a bigger machine there. So, yep. Sorry, it's hard. I get it. Nina says I'm going to start cutting a few projects, a few tipsy needle patterns. So that's cool. I like having projects cut and then just all the pieces ready to be sewn. I did that for to start up a lot of my 2026 projects. I did not do that for Fabulous though. I almost think I don't want to do it or something, you know. But we're going to do it. Okay. Hi, Dolores Phelps. Welcome to the chat. Anita says she has the first 4 months of Fabulous. So, yeah, I'm going to be getting on that. We're going to get it done. Okay. This one gets pressed this way. Turn it around. Press this one. Oh. I don't know. Did it get pressed the wrong way? It's looking at me the wrong way. Hold on. This is out. This is in. It's right. I'm about to press it the wrong way. I'll let you see it when I'm done. One more row. I will not be telling any pattern names. I will not be giving any cut information. That's what Scrap Club is for. But since I'm sewing it here, I will show it to you. Okay. Okay. This is the last seam on this block. Just great working on quilting projects. Sharon and I are still waiting to pick up at the airport. I don't know what they talking about. Ugh. I need more blocks, and then I need to get the numbers on here so that they're turned the right way. How come I'm missing like a whole block number? Like, okay, it's under here. I'm like, that's why it's good to number everything. I'm like, where is the number? 21, 22, 23, and 24. Just like that. Okay. I just want to get this first one off so that I can press it. But I don't want to break my thread. What time is it? It's 9:43. Goodness gracious. I'm sewing today. Getting some stuff done. Look at me. All right, let's press this so I can show you what it looked like. I was making this bigger originally. You know, I do this stuff. I'm not putting this on my bed. It's white background. It's like, what are you talking about? Like I guess I got to use them up at some point. But I'm like, this is only going to last once or twice before it starts looking cruddy. It's white. I don't normally do a pure white background, but I did. I'm trying to do different things with the cave prints. But yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. But here is my block. Right here. Very big. Right here. It's a BAB. And you all figure that out. And Kevin talking about Miss T singing and sewing. Miss T is a hot mess. Singing nothing. All right, this is 24s over there. Say that is cute. Thank you. Beautiful colors. Thank you. Michelle says, wow, that is a beautiful. Love the size. I made regular size one before. Yeah. And this has a little different twist to it. Yolanda says, love the colors on the block tee. Thank you. Hey, Ray. He says he's watching basketball and football. Right. He's the sports. He loves sports. Watching them bowl. All right. Now this one. Make sure my corners are lined up. I thought I was going to make this to fit my bed. I'm wondering if I should do that now. Like, I've already increased the size of it, but maybe. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm out of thread. It ran out right at the bottom of the end of the block. Had just enough to finish one block needs to be sewed. May as well clean it all out. I'm ahead of the game today. I cleaned it and did the thread cutter the last time I was off camera because I had to sew for the next part of the mystery so I don't get behind. I don't want to be stressed. So I sewed the second step and recorded it today or yesterday. I didn't sew anything today until I came in here. So we'll let that sit while I clean. Just trying to get some of the dust off the top while I'm in here too. So, but I don't have to do the thread cutter cleaner thing. Benina people know what I'm talking about. I do that off camera so I don't have to do that on. And you don't do it every time. But I've been sewing a lot and my machine has been really dirty, especially when I'm sewing on this one particular red thread that I'm sewing on. It's very fuzzy. And I've tried cleaning out my thread bobbin indicator light, which there is no other place to go to clean it. And it still says that the thread is out when I put the thing on. So I'm not using my thread is out indicator. Bobbin thread out. Because otherwise it'll be stopping every 2 seconds and make me want to throw this thing against the wall. I just took it to the service in September, so I go once a year and it's 2.5 hours away one way. And so I'm not going back just for that. So I'm going to have to deal with it for a while until I can get back into the shop for my regular maintenance. And I won't let anybody else work on my machine, so just making sure it's in there correct. I can put this back on. I have one more bobbin wound. I wind 10 at a time. It takes me a long time to go through them, but I sure hate to see it when it drops down. I used to write the date that I last wound. I didn't do that the last couple of times, but I think I'm gonna get back into doing that. When I wind, I'm gonna put it back. Yeah, and the bobbin sits in here the way that they say it's supposed to sit, so I don't know why it keeps saying that it's out, but that's what it's doing. All right, we got 8 minutes instead of 6. You know, with Dougie Fresh. Got lint on my cleaning. It got lint on my thread that was in there. All right. All right. Let's cut that and press these. Ouch. Kevin trying to guess what BAB is. Nope. Oh my goodness. He says, block always beautiful. Not it, yeah, but that's not what I meant. They talking about Bonita talking about glad you thought about us, Ray. And what was that up here? Michelle just saying hi. Melissa says, no, Ray, everyone watching your sister. Nina says, it would be pretty on your bed. Yes, it would. But, you know, I might put it on there. You never know. I got a quilt now that I have destroyed because I have used it on my bed for years because I don't want to I had the snowman collector quilt that was applique done in the machine, buttonhole stitch. And then I washed it a couple of times because I put it on only at Christmas. But, you know, you wash it before you put it on. I tore that quilt up. It's because it was applique, too. It's part of the reason. So I then went to, I got quilts for all seasons. And it's like, I pick a quilt and then I just use it until I can't use it anymore. The quilt on my bed now, you'd never know I was a quilter. It's got all kind of patches and stuff. Now I think I have a quilt that I can cut a jacket out of. Yeah, I got one. All the quilts I got, want to sell, give away, and it's like my little self don't want to cut a quilt to make a quilted jacket out of a quilt that's already done, you know. But I got one now. Most definitely. This is 20. Okay, just trying to make sure I'm sewing the right thing. Because I don't want to have to use my seam ripper if I don't have to. No, the mystery will not be accessible after it's done. I'm gonna private all those videos. So you might want to link it. Like I don't know how you save a video, but it's gonna be private. I don't know how you save a private link. This is 24. Great question. I keep forgetting to state that. And the main reason is because I did not create this. I told you all I just see quilts and I just did it's more like a sew along. It's like a free pattern. So I don't want to be, I'm not claiming ownership to it. I just saw the photo. I didn't go look at the pattern to see how the instructions were written. All right. This one right here goes in. Uh-oh. This is pressed the wrong way. Because my middle has so many pieces. I normally press the way I'm pressing now. That I pressed by mistake, and that's just habit. But I'm trying to press different because of all the different seams in the middle. So I'm pressing a little different. So then I forget. It's only 2 more minutes. I'm going to finish up this block. And then, before I leave, so I'll be on here a few minutes afterwards. Just to finish these, I got to sew these 2 rows together. And it's going to take me more than 2 minutes because I got to press it. And I got to show it. Oh my goodness. I'm missing a lot. Hold on. Dorsey says that when right in the middle of the block when my thread ran out. Yeah. Miss T, can we take your machine when we... Miss T, can we take your machine when we do a test run again? I don't know what you're talking about. Can we take your machine when we do a test run? I don't know what you're talking about, Kevin. I'm laughing at Joe Carmel. We got all the time in the world. That's from Melissa. She's always encouraging me to go overtime. Joe Carmel says, I got it. Yes, Joe Carmel. Kevin, he brought up in the church. He didn't get out too much to be with the neighborhood kids. I was brought up in the church, but I also was outside with the neighborhood kids. Yes, Joe Carmel. Oh, God. Y'all cracking me up because I'm laughing at Kevin's analogy, and then here come Joe Carmel. Miss T be singing, rapping. I like big blocks, and she can't deny. Right. Like big Boxing I cannot lie. You other fellas can deny. I thought Sir Mix-a-Lot had lost his mind when he came out with that whole entire album. I don't know if you all have sat down and listened to that album. I was in shock. I was coming home from somewhere one night. It was dark outside, so they waited a little bit. But you know, the teenagers before 10, they're still listening to the radio. They have, you know, the favorite young DJs on. And I don't really think they were supposed to play that song, but that song was played raw. It was the first time it had been on the radio. And my husband and I, we was at home and we stayed in the car so we could hear the rest of that song. And then the next day I went and bought the album so I could hear the whole thing. I think Sir Mix-a-Lot lost his mind on that. And one of my other favorite songs where I think somebody lost their mind was Bernie Mac and Kanye West in The College Dropout. That song. Whew. And I don't even like Kanye West. But I like Bernie Mac. Retreat shop hop. Oh, he's saying that we can take my machine when we do that. Well, we'll have to schedule it. I know what you're saying now. I'm like, what is he talking about? Yeah, we went and did one route. We need to do another route. We got one iffy store that I like the store. I like the people. I just want to make sure they have fabric because the last time we were in there, we felt like they didn't have a whole lot of fabric. They had gotten more into people renting their long arm machines, and so more of their space was taken up with that. But the space was still airy that they could put more fabric in there. So, and we actually always find good deals there. So we trying to figure that one out. You know, it's kind of in a little country area, so they're trying to kill two birds with one stone, which I fully understand. But, you know, when you're doing a shop hop, we ain't trying to quilt. We trying to buy fabric. So we want fabric. Not the shop where I take my Bernina, but we'll be in that neighborhood, sort of, kind of, you know. We'll be starting out 2 hours away to 2.5. So, yeah, we'll be right there. All right, last seam of the night. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I talked to Jersey today. She running around, got on a cape, a Elmo cape. Just as cute as she can be. But she's funny. Whenever I'm video chatting, she likes to get right up in the camera like all I see is teeth or eyes or up her nose. It's like, girl, I go, what pretty pearly whites you have? And she just a cheesing. Like, it's like, she is nuts. Oh my goodness. Her mom's talking about going out of town in March, which is a good time away. And I'm really thinking about, instead of bringing her here, going to her house so she can have all her stuff And then I can just take my sewing machine, which is already should be packed up, right? So I shouldn't have to do a whole lot. Instead of packing her up to bring her with all her stuff. Michelle talking about all this and we get rapping too. Right, y'all supposed to be paying me in the Zoom for this stuff, right? We can stay while I earn my strips. That's Minnie. Oh, Deborah Holloway says good night, and Sharon is telling her good night. And Melissa, always thinking of Miss T, the assistant. So yeah, I don't know where this crease come from. Like, where did this crease come from? I don't know. Maybe it happened when, I don't know. It's a big crease though. Like it's been pressed in. It must have been flipped back and I didn't know it. That's a big old crease. And it looked like it want to stay here and play, you know. Because it's white fabric with no, you know, no print. I was going to do a fancy piece border, but I think I'm just going to put a regular border on this if I'm going to use it for my bed. Because, yeah, I'm not doing all of that on the white. Because I already know what I'm going to do to this. It's just pretty bright. I like it because it's bright. I got so many quilts I could put on my bed. But, you know, will I? I already know what quilting design I'm going to put on here. I test quilting designs on other people's quilts. Not intentionally, like, say, when you're quilting, you're kind of a creature of habit, and you tend to pick, I'd say I probably have about 30 quilt designs that I use on a regular basis. And then every once in a while I start looking for some and I go, this will look really cute on some customers' quilt, because that's who I'm quilting for the most part, is customers' quilts, because I don't do my own stuff, okay? So then when I see that, I go, oh, that'll look cute on something that I'm either working on or that I need to quilt for myself. So I already put it on a customer's quilt. It was really cute, and so I know it'll work really good with this. But yeah, so that's my block number 2. It's got all colors. They look bright, but I do have, like, as you can see, a gray here. But the thing with capes is that, you know, eventually the colors come back and make them bright again. So I've got a couple blocks done there. I got to square up those last 2 blocks. And then when I square up those last 2 blocks, I can sew that last row on, and that, well, I got to put a border on the outside, because you do put a border around the outside. And I'm going to look at mine and see what size I want it, because it is a weird size too. So I don't know, I might make my border a little bigger too. Nina says, is that your pattern? Do you sell it? You talking about what I just showed? Aren't you in Scrap Quilting Club? This is a Scrap Quilting Club project. So you already got it, girl. It just, mine's look different because I did it different and made it pretty. What they gave us in the pattern instructions is boring. People says, very nice. I love the colors. Thank you, Renee. So it's a free pattern, Nina. Thank you, Joe Carmel. Nina says her granddaughter is coming tomorrow to stay a week. She is 8 months. Oh my God, that is a long time. So yeah, you already got it, girl. You just need to just pay attention. I changed it so it looks a little different, but you already got this. Yolanda's telling everybody to sleep well. Dorsey's reminding everybody as you're going out to hit the thumbs up. So I would really, really appreciate that. So thank you. So yeah, Some things I sew on here, I may be sewing because I need something to sew. I got all these projects I got to sew, okay? But I can't share it all the time, whether it's a free pattern or not. Most of our patterns this year are free patterns. There wasn't anything that we had to purchase, but I still want to respect the people that paid for the club. So I will not be sharing that, the pattern information. But it's still sort of kind of a simple thing. You can draft too. Renee says, so true. You know how to make the boring exciting. So happy to be a part of Scrap Club this year. Yes. And that's the whole point, is that, you know, you see a pattern and most people think that they got to do exactly what that pattern says. It tells you to pick, say, 5 fabrics and do this pattern, and then I made it scrappy and theirs was more dull side. I made it bright. So so that's part of Scrap Club. When we start doing our show and tells in there, is seeing how people are changing things up. And I'm doing a year, I'm trying to do a year of CAFE. Trying. Now, if I come up to a pattern and it doesn't work with CAFE, then I'm going to do something else. I'm not going to force it, because the last thing I want to do is make something that I don't like as well. But I'm trying to do a year of CAFE, and I'm trying to do different colors with the CAFE as well, as far as background colors and things like that. So this one doesn't count. It was actually a 2025 project. The one the strip and dip. So that one doesn't count. But everything else that I've started for 2026, it has all been CAFE so far. And if I can't make CAFE work, then I'll go to something else. If it's like a jelly roll, I know I don't have any jelly rolls that are CAFE. If it's a jelly roll and I don't feel like cutting strips or cutting my fat quarters so that I can get what I need, then I will probably pull something else. So, but I'm going to try as much as I can to make all of my projects a CAFE, so I can do a year of CAFE. All right. So that's going to be it, everybody. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. And I want to say, stay safe, be blessed, and quilt out. Bye.